Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the home of Territory Footy, TIO Stadium, for the 2021 Cazaly's Australia Day clash, where the Big Rivers will take on the Redtails before the NTFL Women's take on the Glenelg Women's at 4:30 this afternoon. And of course, tonight, the highly anticipated NTFL men's side taking on the Glenelg Men's Premier League at 6:30. Before we get underway, we'd like to make a special mention to Cazaly's Palmerston Club, who are not only one of AFL-NT's premier partners, but also the naming rights partner of the newly resurrected NTFL representative game in 2021. We'd also like to take this time to thank integral sponsors who help make today what it is. Our naming rights sponsor, Cazaly's Palmerston Club, and major sponsor, TIO. And of course, our NT representative squad players sponsors in LJ Hooker, De Silva Hedron, RMI Security and Plumbing NT. And of course, our broadcast partners, NITV, Kick Digital, Mix 104.9 and Hot 100. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, play getting underway at 2 o'clock. It is the Big Rivers Football Club taking on the Redtails. Well, ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together and welcome the Redtails. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together for the best of the Big River region, led by Captain Andrew Symes.
Gurungura, Guaradarniki Larakia, Gurumri, Bujiraba, Goimbarongwa. Welcome to Larrakia country. Firstly, I must pay respect to my elders, those present and past. We are on sacred ground. We're on Larrakia country, here in Darwin, across the harbour and the surrounding regions. Larrakia are saltwater people. Our culture, our identity, our sacred sites and places, our laws govern who we are. It guides us, it directs us. Places where I live on Kimby Coast Peninsula, places like Daramaramaraji or Kijiri or Milik and many, many more. They dictate our cultural boundaries, but also keep us grounded in who we are as Larrakia. And we are growing as a community and as a nation of Larrakia people. And I'd like to thank everyone who participates in assisting us achieve our goals, not only for our people now and our families, but also for the future. So welcome to Larrakia country, and once again, thank you. Mama.
Hello, Charlie King here from the No More campaign. The campaign asks all Australians to say no more to family violence. The high and unacceptable levels of family violence in Australia are a national shame for all of us, but we can do something about it. We can link arms to symbolically show national unity. We can speak out against family violence, and we can encourage each other to be more respectful in our relationships.
Well, a big thank you to the players for linking arms as part of the No More campaign. Play about to get underway in just a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. If you've got a program with you this afternoon, a couple of changes to the squad lineups that you might want to take note of. For the Big Rivers, player number 4 is now Elijah Kelly. So it's a change to your program this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Big Rivers, number 4 now Elijah Kelly, and number 18 now Nico Farah. So that's just a couple of changes that you might want to take note of in your program. But right now, sit back, relax, and enjoy with our first clash of the Australia Day clash. About to get underway, the Redtails versus the Big Rivers.
Thanks, Navanka, and welcome to NITV's telecast of the NTFL Challenge match between the Central Australian Football Club Redtails and the Big Rivers Football League. My name is Stan Coombe. Joining me in commentary today, Nick Lovering. Nick, great to be here for a match-up between the two biggest population bases outside of Darwin. We don't see it often. It hasn't happened since 2009.
Stan, how good is it to be back watching rep football here in the Northern Territory? In the BRFL, we're very excited to be putting footy on the map and showing the territory just how good some of the footballers are from the Katherine region.
Yeah, look, the opportunity doesn't come around too often. The tyranny of distance in the Northern Territory certainly makes it a challenging exercise to pull together. Great to be a part of this big weekend. It's almost back to the future.
Absolutely, it's so good, and just talking to people around the traps, they're just so excited. Especially around our squad, we got a couple of fellas, Dion Kelly, who played for the NTFL, and just to look on their faces and the excitement, it really is back to the future, and very exciting times for Territory football.
Plenty of talent on both sides, a bit of young talent on both sides, but a bit of experience as well. Obviously the superstar for the Big Rivers, the great Liam Patrick. We love him down Alice Way as well.
Oh, absolutely, and he's really pumped. You know, he's getting to that tail end of his career, and he really wants to show people what he can still do.
And balancing out the AFL experience, Matt Campbell for the Redtails team. So it's going to be Carlisle versus Smith in the ruck. Smith, one of the more accomplished ruckmen in the NTFL, but Carlisle got his hands on the football. Couldn't get into a teammate. Smithy with the handball out. Good use to Cossack. Cossack on the left foot, inside 50. Getting back, taking the mark for the Redtails is Rowan Armstrong. Lovely left foot normally. No exception there. The kick across ground to Sean Foster, who took the mark on the run and continued to play on. One bounce from Foster to the back flank, drew the player. Handball straight to Kirtley Silver. Silver now forward for the Big Rivers team. A couple of bounces. Dummied the handball. Short pass was very short into the forward pocket. He's going to get it again, Silver. Quickly onto the right boot in towards goal. It's going to go close. Almost a mark. Punched away by Jackson Cole. First score on the board goes to the Big Rivers.
They'll be happy with this start, Big Rivers. You know, they've got to get their hands on the football early, and just as they're going in forward, just muffing a couple of opportunities, they need to take them early to put pressure on this very experienced Redtails outfit.
So out of the back pocket, Luke Farrows. You go long looking for the ruckman Carlisle. Got himself to the front position and took the mark on the chest. Jamal Lynch calling for it on the wing. The kick goes in that direction. It's a little bit wide, close to the boundary line and over the line, right in front of the scoreboard, and we can see it. BRFL 1 point. Redtails yet to score.
They'll be happy with a stoppage there, the Redtails, just to calm themselves down. You know, it's been a frantic start, and that'll be the BRFL's tactic here. They're going to take them on with their run and pace and their class and really put these guys under pressure. As the tap comes down, ball comes out, Redtails hitting into the forward line. Campbell there, just runs over it slightly. Elijah Kelly there to mop up. It looks like it'll be a stoppage.
Matty Campbell getting his hands on the football the first time. I think the kick came from Dylan Barry. Bit of NTFL experience there. I think he played in a premiership for Southern Districts a few years ago. As Smith gets the tap down. Luke Adams nose in over the football. Now taken off it. He might get a free kick there. And that will make someone in my household very happy at the moment. His auntie Lynette Hampton. G'day to her, Harmony and Darcy. The handball off to Campbell, who kicks inside 50. Plenty of defenders back there for the Big Rivers Football League, but not clean with the football. Little toe poke out of the forward pocket, and a good tackle. I reckon the umpire's got that right, holding the ball. The
Bobby
free kick.
Nagambajabar there, the Nooker boy, and watch him today because there'll be plenty of run from him out of the back line. Liam O'Connor there with the football from the Catherine Camels Football Club. Bit of a surprise inclusion, but will be fit, a Waratahs footballer. He'll run all day.
Yeah, we must say that, look, the weather conditions, probably Catherine or the Big Rivers side, a bit more acclimatised to this sort of weather than the Centralians.
Yeah, we want this cloud cover to go away and get the sun out and really expose some of these Redtails boys to some proper top-end humidity.
Lukey Farrows sees the ball over the boundary line. One of 5 Minahan medalists out there for the Central Australian side. Luke won his a fair way back. I think it was about 2012. Matt Campbell, we've already mentioned him. He won his in 2004.
Fantastic. And it is the first time in 11 years, Stan, since these two teams have played. And as I said earlier, great to have them back representing their respective leagues. Ryan Smith there doing some power work. Lockie King in there. He's a real fighter, that young kid. And BRFL get the stoppage there. Joel Budrick there, you can see on screen, number 18. Just a late inclusion. Was an emergency for the NTFL team. Two-time premiership player with Nightcliff. And Catherine Camels Jr. Great to see him out there. Dan Allen brings the ball into the forward line looking for Jeffrey McDonald. Overrunning at McDonald early. Hasn't been clean with his hands. And the Redtails mop up as they come out of the back line. They look well organised there, Stan, as they come out.
Yeah, little chain of handballs on the end of it. The Iron Curtain got it to Sean Foster. His short pass to Lachlan Lake, the Tennant Creek representative. Cheerio to everyone back in Tennant. And cheerio to the other Lachlan who was named emergency, Doonerman. As the kick goes up towards the wing for the Redtails, it was from the boot of Thomas Swan. Good defence here by the Big Rivers Football League.
Elijah
and eventually...
Kelly.
Yeah, Elijah Kelly, son of Dion in there. He's got two young fellas out there. Keelan and Elijah. Matt Campbell. Oh, suspicious looking handball. That one over to Dylan Barry. Barry tries to shrug the tackle. Can't. Handball out in front of Stafford's been intercepted. Barry will go back in. Nose over the footy again. From a sitting position, got the handball towards Stafford. Clever tap from him to Campbell. Campbell from the pocket, being pursued. Eventually around onto the left boot, and he centres it up and finds Sean Foster. He was certainly put under a bit of pressure, though, by the Big Rivers defence, but that's experience.
He's looking dangerous early, Campbell. Very clever. Just lateral movement there. Put his eyes up. Just went backwards, found the man. And Big Rivers are going to have to be really, really careful. If he gets off the chain, he could do some damage very early and put the BRFL under some pressure.
Talented young man with a foot in his hand, Sean Foster. Only about 18, 19 years of age, plays for Pioneer in the Central Australian Football League. Didn't live up to my hype there. That one off the side of the boot, out of bounds on the full, but I reckon we're going to see plenty from him today. Exciting young talent.
Adam Parry here for the Big Rivers Footy League. St Mary's fullback, kicks long, down the line. Looking for that Severio Jara, the excitement machine out of Larger Manu. Look at him go. And over to Liam Patrick, as we mentioned earlier on, the veteran, now 33 years of age, Liam, but fantastic story, his journey into AFL football and now just wanting to give back to local footy, which is fantastic.
We know him well down Central Australian way too. Played a bit of footy down there in the early days with Ewan Namu and Federal. Footy on the grandstand side wing here. Ethan Little after it. He'll run all day for the Redtails. Handball out in front of Jamal Lynch. He gives the handball sideways. There's the captain, Darren Abbott. Abbott giving away a bit of ground. But eventually the kick will go in from Lachlan Lake. Well, he didn't get it. Didn't get it to where he wanted to get it. Davin Hall now with the footy for the Big Rivers. Lake goes back in and makes up for it. Gets it back for the Redtails. Handball to Stafford. Handball to Lynch. Lynch inside 50 and they couldn't hit the target. Couple of Redtails a bit undecided about where to go. And now it's left to Jamal Lynch to try and clean up on the attacking 50, but the defenders get there for Big Rivers. Yeah, they've got the ascendancy here at the moment, the Redtails. They just need to convert. Big Rivers under pressure. They need to close down space. The Redtails finding some space. Glenn Hughes there. Great football story, Glenn Hughes. Only been playing 4 years. Warwick Williams pumps the boys forward. Nico Farrow, great hands. Jeffrey McDonald being tackled and too long. Gray Morris medalist Jeffrey McDonald kicked 6 in the Big Rivers Grand Final for Catherine South. Electric when he gets his opportunity. Of course, Gray Morris, the great man for the NT News up here in Darwin. Great supporter of footy right around the territory. Alonzo Nelson, young man, only 16, over to Foster. Foster caught in a brilliant tackle. Well, over the shoulder, according to the umpire. I thought pretty well done there by the Big Rivers player. Tom Spence, just to stop that movement forward. Now Foster looking for Nigel Lockyer inside 50 through his hands. Stafford on hands and knees, can't get it. This isn't bad play. Paddy Heenan around the footy, got it out to a teammate. Big Rivers away, kicking to the centre, didn't hit the target. And Darren Abbott gets it for Big Rivers. Here's the young 16-year-old Alonzo Nelson. His old man, that know him in Catherine, Milton Roberts.
Yes, very well.
Played an AFL game for Richmond.
He did, fantastic. That was 2008, round 1. I don't think anyone will ever forget that in territory football.
Nigel Lockyer with the shot at goal. Nigel Lockyer Jr. And that's the Redtails' first score. And what had a bit of it up there in the last few minutes, but they haven't capitalised on the scoreboard. Well done, Big Rivers defence. 1 point apiece. It's definitely been a frantic start, and I think that'll suit Big Rivers. We haven't had a lot of chance to sort of train together and get some systems going. So we know that we're going to have to play this frantic football to beat the structure and the systems of an experienced Redtails squad. So Coach Mel Fox will be happy with this start. It's, as I said, they would have liked to have converted on the scoreboard a little bit more. But this is what they've got to do. They've got to really take the game on. Liam Patrick here on the wing now. Over to Michael Joshua, captain of the Catherine South Crocs, boy from Nooka. Goes with the left, takes a hand pass. On to Patrick again. Here we go, the excitement machine, the wizard, Jeffrey McDonald. Couldn't get his hands on it again. Curtly Silva goes to take the mark. And it will be a stoppage. Patrick working his way into the game. A couple of possessions in that passage of play. Look out, because sooner or later, lightning will strike. It will. Class is permanent. And let's see what they can do here at the stoppage, Big Rivers. See how they set up. Glenn Hughes will take the tap, the big rig, they call him. And Silva's there, lays the tackle. Kick comes out. Warwick Williams is there to mop up. The Wanderers player, played for Tyndall this year.
the Redtails just clean it up, come down through that man again, Campbell. He's been everywhere early, setting them up out of the midfield. Pumps it down long, great mark.
Nigel Lockyer Jr. played on with the handball over to Darren Abbott. Didn't quite work. Abbott tried to get it back to Lockyer. Lockyer, after getting through the tackle, kicks inside 50. And we've got a mark and shot a goal coming up for the Redtails. And it's Toshi Kernoth.
They'll be disappointed there, BRFL, with a stoppage deep. Just came out all a little bit too easy. And again, that man, Campbell on the wing, was really able to set the Redtails up. And they need to convert here and get that first goal on the board.
There's more traffic down on the interchange here for the Redtails than you'll see in the Coles car park at Alice Springs. I reckon about 6 players came off. 6 went on as Tosh Kernoth shoots for goal. Best on ground in the grand final in Alice this year. He kicked 4 goals in the first term of that game, and he's got 1 in the first of this.
Yeah, he was definitely a name mentioned in our pre-game meeting, and yeah, just showing us why he won that medal and performing on the big stage. And that's the most important thing here today. You know, this is a big stage for some of these guys, a great opportunity. And being able to put a performance on the board today is a big thing in football, and testing yourself against the best.
Just saw on the replay there, Nigel Lockyer Jr. getting the kick into Kernoth, and they'll be the 2 main marking targets along with Stafford up in that forward line for the Redtails.
Yeah, big job for Elijah Kelly today on the centre half forward. Lockyer there, he's going to have to do a big job.
Is that Paddy Heenan?
Yeah, Paddy played last night and he's on board with us today. Just couldn't quite get the clearance there. Big River again as it comes forward for the Redtails. Another great mark.
Lockyer this time the pass to Stafford. So he's kicked the last 2 passes to someone leading in the forward line. He hit Kernoth just before, and now Daniel Stafford, noted goal kicker. He's played a bit of footy up in Darwin over the years. Darwin Buffaloes and now Palmerston.
Yep, played for Nightcliff too, didn't he?
Yes, he did actually. Yeah. I reckon that was his first NTFL club.
Yes, as an 18-year-old, I remember.
Comes from Yullamoo, a little place called Mount Allen.
Bit less hair than I remember.
Yes, I reckon that's pretty recent too. Normally a pretty good kick for goal. He's hooked that one and just hooked it wide. What I'm looking forward to is a shot for goal from him from about 60 out. When he lets go with the torp, gee, it's a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. The BRFL have got a couple of long kickers. Nico Farrow was in the goal square. Nico from Nooka, big raking left foot. Great to see those skills on offer today. As the BRFL here get it out through Lockie King. Cale Cossack with his hands on the ball. Ryan Smith kicks it forward. It looks like it's going to go out on the full.
Yeah, just over the line there, Lachlan Lake to take it. Cheerio to everyone back in Tennant Creek. The CAFC Redtails also cover the Barkly region. As I mentioned, young Lachlan Doonerman probably a little bit unlucky not to be out there. Named an emergency, kick to the wing. The battle between the 2 ruckmen. Carlisle's in front of Smith this time, but Smith with his nose over the football on hands and knees. Luke Foster tries to get through some heavy traffic. Couldn't. The defence pretty good. Here goes Big Smith again. Alonzo Nelson, you're out of your weight class there, young fella. Smith off the ground, that was good. And Liam Patrick takes the mark on the half-forward flank. He'll kick inside 50 for Big Rivers.
As he pumps it in long, looking for McDonald, and gets his hands on the football again, but couldn't quite bring the mark down. Comes out, Michael Joshua's there. He can't be clean with the ball as well. It's obviously slippery out there in these humid conditions, and none of these teams would be used to the humidity. As the Redtails again, just through some structure there, bring it out.
Lake.
Lachlan Lake there.
Barry in the middle. Spears a pass. Hit Kernoth on the chest. Kernoth dropped it. He's got a bit of time to recover. Tries to get around, and I reckon that's a terrific tackle. The umpire, I reckon, has got that one right, and that's Bobby Jr.
Bobby Nugambajiba. We've been working on that, Stan, haven't we?
Yes, and I'm still not going to get it. I think Alonzo Nelson held when he didn't have the footy. So the young man who's got connections to Ali Karung, Tennant Creek, just about everywhere across the territory, kicks inside 50. The ball punched away from Stafford by Adam Parry over the boundary line. We'll get a boundary throw in about 25 metres around from the Redtails goal. They lead 1-2-8 to a point.
That's exactly why he's picked Adam Parry for that sort of play. Just strong on the ball. We've given him a job, lock down and find the boundary with that spoil. So fantastic from him. As the ball comes out, here's Nugambajiba again. He can be dangerous off half-back, but tackled there. As the ball comes in again through Dylan Barry there. He's been prominent early to Campbell. And another great little pass there. Sets up the Redtails there through Gareth Remfrey. So shot on goal here for the Redtails, and they're just starting to gain a little bit of ascendancy over the BRFL. Just can't quite seem to get past that half-forward line with any sort of system and the Redtails structure and probably better skills just at the moment.
I think they're going to have to make the most of it too, though, Nick. I can see these conditions taking their toll on the Redtails. I reckon they need to get out and establish a bit of a lead here.
Absolutely. As the kick comes in, no clean mark there. BRFL look to mop up, and they do through O'Connor. O'Connor comes wide into space. The ball runs and looks like it'll be a stoppage there on the wing, or is it out on the full? I didn't see the signal.
I thought the boundary umpire signalled out on the full. There was certainly a few players boundary umpiring out there, but I think they were appealing for it as maybe a deliberate. So and the boundary umpire is going to throw it in. Footy on the half-forward flank right in front of the Wanderers clubhouse. Big screen over there. Carlo, he's got his hands on the footy a bit against Smith. I thought he'd be up against it. Smith's one of the all-time great ruckmen over the last decade in the NTFL. Luke Adams through a little bit of traffic. Handball out to Foster. Foster goes inside 50. Lockyer in the middle of the pack. Crashed his opponent to the ground. Couldn't hold on to the footy. Ball spills out. Big Rivers should get it off that half-back line. Kick into the middle, and they're looking for the lightning bolt. Liam Patrick, he's got a couple to beat. That was very clever. Tapped it over towards a teammate there at half-forward. Coming in to pick up now, Lachlan King. He's been beset upon. There's 2 or 3, 4 Redtails around him now. Darren Abbott comes away with the footy. Just got the handball away as his jumper was grabbed from behind. Good effort by that Big Rivers player, and I reckon he's going to be rewarded. Free kick. He was taken high, but it was 1 against 3 at one stage, and he hung in there.
Catherine South captain here, Michael Joshua, boy from Nooka. Came in and captained the Catherine Crocs to a premiership this year. He's played in 2 with us. A fantastic young man. As he comes out wide here, looks for O'Connor. O'Connor, the Waratahs and Catherine Camill's utility. Kicks the ball in long. Looking for Smith. This is where he could be dangerous, but it doesn't go to hand. Again, the Redtails there to mop up as they come out. Bring it out of the back line along this grandstand side wing there. And a good mark taken there by Little as they go in. Campbell again. Looks to set the Redtails up. Just dropped the football there. Saw O'Connor coming. And well done by the Big Rivers boys there. Here he is, Elijah Kelly, son of Dion. And Cassidy Fitzclarence, the veteran, kicks the ball over. Played for Tyndall this year, the airman. Cassidy came down and really did a fantastic job. Him and Warwick Williams really boosted the Tyndall Football Club this year in the BRFL. It was fantastic for all involved.
Lucky to work alongside him there for a year or two. Campbell with a kick from the wing towards the half-forward flank. Got a bit of a surprise when I saw Cassidy Fitzclarence. I love the name too. I saw him on the team list because he's got to be in the late 30s, I think.
Well, this is the beauty of rep football, isn't it? You can always pick a player to play a role. Sometimes if you pick your best 22, you might, triple, double up on a couple of positions. Fitzclarence is in the side to do a specific role for us today.
And even though he's late 30s, his face still looks like he's about 18.
Severio Jara pumps the ball in long here. Oh, Dan out. That Fitzclarence it is. We were just talking about him. Looked like he got one in the back there. As the umpires played advantage to the Big Rivers Football League. Silver looking dangerous, but it's cleaned up by the Redtails. As it comes out here, McAdam with the football, brings it down along the wing, and he's got Nelson there. Brings it in board now.
Edward Hampton. There's a name for me. I live in the Hampton-Coombe household. I'll say good day to his Uncle Tim down at Port Augusta. He's probably sitting there with his mate Chopper. Hampton now over to Charlie McAdam. We saw his father Gilbert earlier on. Kick towards centre half forward. Ball off hands taken by Big Rivers, and Davin Hall's away.
Hall now looks to bring it in the forward line. Looking for Liam Patrick again. The Redtails just putting men in front of the marking footballer. And here we go with Jeffrey McDonald now. Kicks it into the goal square. Oh! Big five from Silva.
Oh!
On the ball. All right,
luck.
very exciting passage of play there. Curtly Silva with the big hanger, but couldn't quite bring it down. They're dropping in beautifully here, the Redtails, just in front of the Big River Football League forwards. So Mel Fox has got some work to do there, ensuring that that hole and that space doesn't get filled up in front of his key forwards.
Edward Hampton took the mark from the kick in the back pocket. Short pass from him to the Iron Curtain. Kurt Abbott from Tea Tree passes off to another lad who play some footy for T3 as well. Lonzo Nelson, connections, like I said, right around the territory. Nice kick. He's got great skills. Either leg, doesn't matter. Got it to Lockyer. Lockyer with a handball off to Parry. Parry goes long. Colonel jumps from behind. Couldn't mark. Jamal Lynch runs onto it. Little kick rolls along the ground, right into the goal square. Stafford beaten to it initially. He led on the lead out, but couldn't beat his opponent on the run around. And now they'll get it out of the back line here. I think it was Warwick Williams with the kick.
Yep, Williams comes down into the wing there, but it's all Redtails as they mop the football up and they come inboard here again, look to set up and come forward. They need to start converting these entrances at the moment as the mark's taken there by, I have Lockyer on my sheet.
Yes, it was.
Lockyer, yep. Beautiful pass there. And
Robbie Smith.
They really need to convert here, the Redtails.
They do.
This will suit the BRFL. We just want to stay in touch with these boys and hopefully, you know, the weather, the bigger ground, but mainly the weather and the conditions. We want to run them down in this heat and this Darwin humidity. Supposedly it is 7 degrees cooler up here, Stan, than in Alice today, but it doesn't feel like that, I don't think.
Tell that to the sweat that covered me from head to toe when I got outside earlier on today. Robbie Smith plays for the South Footy Club in Alice Springs, offline to the right with that shot at goal. And they moved their score on to 1 goal, 3-9. 7-point lead over Big Rivers Football League, 2 points. I'll tell you what, it's been entertaining. You would have thought you might have seen some more goals out of this. The footy, nonetheless, despite the lack of goals, very entertaining. Both sides having a good go.
Parry brings the ball in, looking for Ngunbajabar, who takes the mark. And he needs to turn and go quickly here, otherwise the Redtails will just set up here on the BRFL as they do. Big Glenn Hughes there, gets over the football. Can't come out there of the pack. The umpire's found a kick there, and it's going to be Paddy Heenan, the Tiwi Bombers star, played at Nooka in the BRFL. Comes inboard, finds Williams. Williams now look to bring the ball through the centre. Nico Farrell with his first touch. He'll be unhappy with that. Puts down an easy mark as the Redtails come back in through Stafford now and Campbell. Oh.
Opportunity gone begging. Stafford was trying to get it to Campbell.
Just missed the kick, didn't he?
Yep, and bounced away and threw for another behind.
Another opportunity goes begging there for the Redtails.
It was a brilliant pick-up on the half volley too for a man of his size. He's got some agility, Stafford.
Warwick Williams now with the football, bringing it back in for the BRFL. Young Henry Driver. Look at this kid, 17 years old from Kalano community. Could be anything, this young man, and he's made the side. Good on you, Henry, and well done. You won't be happy with that first kick, but that's okay. Mark taken there by McAdam as he goes back. And the Redtails look to set up again with another inch. Oh, that's an interesting kick there.
Went to talk.
Stan.
Went to talk, didn't
connect. That's what we love about this footy. The odd talk.
It's still in vogue in Alice Springs. Warwick Williams got the kick out towards that scoreboard side wing. Luke Farrows leads his opponent in the race for the footy. Little toe poke and then good use of the body to get rid of him. He's going to be beaten for pace on this occasion, Farrows, but he's done pretty well. Got the handball over towards Dylan Barry. Barry's got a couple to beat. The ball spills out to Ryan Smith. Smith gives away a little bit of ground with a handball to Williams. Williams stepped around the oncoming opponent, speared the pass in towards the middle, went through some hands. Got to take it here, Redtails, otherwise they're surrounded. Lockie Lake with the footy, kicks it out wide. Campbell will gather 40 metres out. I don't think the kick towards goal is going to count. And look at that. Just rolled through as well, but it won't count. It was after the bell when he got beat the ball. And it's a pretty entertaining first quarter. Redtails 1 goal, 4-10. Big Rivers Football League 2 points. And only 1 goal kicker in the game, Nick. It was Toshi Kernoth for the Redtails.
Yeah, well, it's very, as you said, very entertaining.
Quarter time here at TIO Stadium, and it's the Big Rivers with just the 2 behind, trailing the Redtails 1-4-10.
With that, the Redtails haven't got off the chain. They had the opportunity. I mean, they really should be 3 goals at least, and really keeps Big Rivers in here. Look, the Big Rivers Footy League, they're struggling to just put together connections and connect up and link up with their play at the moment. Just a few skill errors from both sides. I wonder whether that humidity and the slippery football is having a bit of an impact on the skill level at this stage. But look, I think Redtails will go in thinking, all right, we've got our handle on the game now, and I think we both knew that. You need to see a quarter of football to see how the teams are going to match up.
Entertaining stuff. First quarter of a big day of footy. You're seeing it on NITV. We'll be back with more shortly.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Head on in to Cazaly's Palmerston Club. Business meetings, coffee breaks, or just unwinding, Cazaly's has you covered. It's the perfect spot for a catch-up with friends, with stylish function areas suitable for any occasion. Sensational meals. Our family-friendly bistro has plenty of delicious options. All the latest machines in our modern gaming room. Get around the pool tables and prove your skills. Fancy a flutter? We've got full betting facilities available. Cazaly's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Hello, Charlie King here from the No More campaign. The campaign asks all Australians to say no more to family violence. The high and unacceptable levels of family violence in Australia are a national shame for all of us, but we can do something about it. We can link arms to symbolically show national unity. We can speak out against family violence, and we can encourage each other to be more respectful in our relationships.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Head on in to Cazaly's Palmerston Club. Business meetings, coffee breaks, or just unwinding, Cazaly's has you covered. It's the perfect spot for a catch-up with friends, with stylish function areas suitable for any occasion. Sensational meals. Our family-friendly bistro has plenty of delicious options. All the latest machines in our modern gaming room. Get around the pool tables and prove your skills. Fancy a flutter? We've got full betting facilities available. Cazaly's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
And welcome back to NITV's coverage of the NTFL Representative Challenge match between the Central Australian Football Club Redtails and the Big Rivers Football League. My name's Stan Coombe. Joining me in commentary, Nick Lovering. Not many goals in the first quarter, Nick, but it was pretty entertaining nonetheless. The ball travelled from one end of the ground and back plenty of times. Yeah,
it was very frantic football. Both teams came out obviously pumped up, and some of the skills early were a little bit rusty, but it's been very entertaining nonetheless. And you know, as much as we thought there was going to be structure from the Redtails, discipline versus just pace and all-out aggression from the BRFL, and they'll be looking to continue that.
We can see on the screen there Redtails coach Sean Cusack delivering the message to his troops. First ever coach of the Redtails, and now returning to those duties. He was involved when they first got going back in about 2012. I think they had their first game. And there's the Big Rivers Football League huddle just on the outside of that. Mel Fox, the coach, delivering the message. And Nick, I think beforehand you told me he might have been involved at least as an assistant coach last time these two met about 9 years ago.
Yeah, Mel's a veteran of Catherine footy and premiership coach with 2 clubs. He's led 3 different clubs to grand finals in the BRFL, and passionate Catherine football man. Coached the Big River Hawks in the under-18s in the NTFL. So a long association with Catherine football, and he's definitely the right man for the job today. And I think he'll be pretty happy with his troops at quarter time, and just willing them to keep that pressure on, keep that pace, and to really put these Redtails under pressure and challenge their structures all day. So just a bit of a shout out to some Catherine people watching. Big shout out to Doug Kelly, the legend from Catherine. He'll be very proud to see the BRFL up and running and playing today. And to Gray Morris. Gray came and spoke to the boys last night and gave us a little bit of Catherine football history, which was great. And he's actually offering a best on ground prize today, Gray. So it's great to have his support as we bring back rep footy in Northern Territory.
If there's anyone that knows the history, it's Gray Morris, and Doug Kelly, an important part of the history of football in the Katherine region. Of course, the Doug Kelly medal, best and fairest, named after him.
Yes, and we were very unfortunate Cam Arnold couldn't play today. Played last night, plays again next Tuesday.
Been a good battle in the ruck between Ryan Smith for the Big Rivers Footy League and Carlisle from the Redtails. This time Smith wins, but it has been rowed by Gareth Renfrey. He was beset upon and lost control of the footy. Coming Lamble out towards Luke Adams. Adams under pressure, dishes it out. It's been swooped on now by Patrick Heenan. 55 out, he kicks inside 50. Jackson Cole versus Liam Patrick. Young fella up against one of the most accomplished footballers ever produced in the territory. Kurt Abbott gets it just inside the boundary line. No, just over the boundary line. We'll get a boundary throw in. Yeah, Jackson Cole, I think 17, 18 years of age. That's a big assignment on Liam Patrick. But he is a quality defender. He will give it everything he's got.
Yeah, big challenge for a young man, and he won't forget it. He'll be talking about it for a long time, the day he got to play on Liam Patrick. This ball comes in now from the stoppage. Big Rivers looking to hawk here, but the Redtails too good as they come
Rowan
out.
Armstrong.
Good tackle there from Heenan. It's been rewarded. They play on quickly there through Silver. And it's Patrick again now with the football as he wheels around, sells a dummy. Unfortunately, they can't hurt the scoreboard there. Big Rivers as it goes out on the full, and the Redtails will have a kick from the back pocket.
We're going to come down the grandstand side of the ground unless there's a big switch of play on. Kick is long, looking for the ruckman Carlisle. Ball spills down towards Bobby Jr.
Nagambajabar.
There he is. I'll happy to leave it to you. And he's got the footy and onto the left boot. He's been one of their better players so far, Nick.
He has. He's been fantastic. And won't be happy with that kick. But as the Redtails here now, they're looking dangerous here as they come in through Lockyer. He's had a bounce. He's going to have a shot for goal. And, he'll be disappointed with that as well. They're just not converting here, both teams.
No, it was on maybe a chance to give the footy to Stafford as well. Although I do think Stafford was probably encouraging Lockyer to maybe go towards goal. He had a couple of choices, just didn't work out.
Elijah Kelly here with the kick as he comes in, puts it on the left foot, looking for Lockie King out there who takes a good mark. He's a warrior, Lockie King, a utility for the Katherine South Football Club. Plays up here with the Pint Football Club in Division 1. And does a fantastic job for both clubs and fully deserving of his spot in this team today as he comes with the left now, comes down the far side wing looking for Smith, and you won't be happy with that kick as the ball goes out for a throw in, and an opportunity here for both sides to just reset and take a deep breath. It's that frantic footballs coming into the second quarter as well. Both teams, the team that's going to get on top here, Stan, I think is a team that can settle and put some scoreboard pressure on as the throw-in comes in now. Smith with a great tap there, smashing it forward. And that's young Henry Driver with the hands, comes out to Williams. Williams goes one way, then the other. Now comes back inside with the football, moving it forward. Oh. Ball comes to ground. Heenan there doing some good work around the pack, gets the hands out. Ball comes down. Redtails are there to clean up. And they move it forward again now. Campbell there on the wing with a hand pass.
And footy picked up now by Dylan Barry. Tried to put on afterburners but couldn't get away from the chasing player, Liam O'Connor.
He's paid a throw there.
Oh, he has.
I thought he had clean hands.
I think Parry looked up, and normally he'd go with that thumping left boot, but I think he looked up and there was no one in a good position to get it to. Curtly Silva takes the mark, sliding on his knees out on that far side wing. Moved the ball forward again. Quickly. Starting to get a bit of football, young driver. Handball back towards his teammate. Under pressure there. Went down on hands and knees. Cazaly fits Clarence. The ball picked up here by the Redtails. Little handball back towards the half-back flank. They've got a numbers advantage. McAdam slipped a handball out. Lynch got it. Another handball from him to Renfrey, and Renfrey goes high and long and just inside 50. Might have been a little push out there by Kernot. The umpire didn't notice. Attempted kick has been missed. It's an airy. Stafford shoots in towards goal. Left boot just wide, through for one behind. They still can't get the goals. 1-5-11. 2 points, the Big Rivers Football League.
Budrick comes in now with a football looking for Kale Cossack. Cossack with the mark. Needs to turn and go here. Comes inboard. Finds Heenan. Heenan with the kick now into the centre. Goes over the head of O'Connor. Williams mops up. Comes out wide there to Silva. Silva needs to put the Jets on here and send the Big Rivers team forward. Looking for Patrick. Clarence is there as the ball goes out for a throw in. Big changes here. Rotations are key today, Stan. Making sure, 2-3 minute burst. Get off, have that break. Get in the cool room. And get back out there.
Yeah, let's remember it's off-season for everyone, and these are tough conditions to play footy in, even when you're fully fit.
Ball comes to ground here from the stoppage. Looks like it's Silva there. Ooh, did he get a high tackle? Jurra there with the football, goes to ground. Now McDonald picks the football up. Just missed.
And not by much.
He only needs 3 or 4 kicks, McDonald, and he can really hurt you on the scoreboard. He'll be disappointed not to have put that through because he had a good look at the sticks there. And Big Rivers will be, they need a goal here. They need to get on the scoreboard and really start putting pressure back on the Redtails. As the ball comes in through the Redtails, in there to...
Little to Eddie Hampton.
Eddie Hampton. And
now Jamal Lynch. From Pioneer Footy Club, but really from Santa Teresa, or Ginger Porter as they call it. Luke Adams, the handball to Ethan Little. His handball to Darren Abbott, caught from behind. Just slipped the handball away, maybe just in time to Luke Adams. Adams with a floating kick towards half forward. Well done by Lockyer. He effected the spoil, then snapped with the right. He missed an easier one than that before, but he's got that from 40 out on his wrong foot. And the Redtails get their second goal. Just seemed to come from nowhere.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that, the Redtails, and we talked about that steadier. That could be that steadying goal there. And so the Big Rivers Football League are going to have to be right on here and try and get that one back quickly. Otherwise, the Redtails are looking very good. And,
Nigel Lockyer there on the replay, snapping that with the right, normally a left footer. And son of a great footballer down in Alice, Nigel Lockyer Senior. I couldn't even tell you how many premierships he played in for South, but I'm venturing 5.
Wow.
And must be mixed feelings for the old man now when he sees Nigel playing against South for Rovers.
Yeah, so we've got a few father-son combinations out here today, and as we mentioned, Dion Kelly watching his 2 sons out here today, be a very proud dad.
It's very Jurra getting into it, mate.
Yeah, Jurra brings the ball out, comes wide there. Jake Farrell can't mop up, but it looks like Nelson can as they come down the wing to... Who's that? Twisting and turn there. Toshi Kerno. And kicks the ball in, drives the Redtails in again. Parry. Parry in the hole there. That's exactly why he's been picked, as I mentioned before, just to do that job down back. But they need to move the ball with pace out of their back line here, Big Rivers. He's calling players over the grandstand side of the wing as he drives it long. Parry, it's a high ball. Allen flies. That comes down. In there is Abbott as he moves it forward. Kelly in the hole there, just intercepts the mark. Parry mops up, comes now to the far side of the ground, looking for Davin Hall, the veteran from Nooka, as he puts the ball on the ground, runs it in, looks inboard now, looking for Michael Joshua. Joshua turn, look, this good little passage of play here for the BRFL. They just need to settle and hold the football. Henry Driver again. Been prominent, the young fella, just 17 years old, the boy from Kalano, as he kicks the ball now into the forward line, looking for Patrick. Probably need to just look a bit laterally here, BRFL. They seem to be going to Patrick a lot, and there's other opportunities there. He's been well marked by the young fella.
Yeah, young Jackson Cole doing a pretty good job. Boundary throw in, Big Rivers Footy League. Inside their attacking 50. Front position there, Glenn Hughes. Oh, Hughesy, we have a problem. Ball over the boundary line for another boundary throw in. 51 out now.
Unbelievable story, Glenn Hughes. Played his first game of football at about 21 years of age 4 years ago. He's built like Anthony Koutafidis. Still learning the game, but a fantastic effort for him to make this rep side. He is the nephew of the great Brentley Hughes, Nichols medalist from Southern Districts.
Southern Districts, great player. And
Elijah Kelly now drives the ball in deep, looking for Patrick, who can't take the mark again. Ball spills, good tackle there from Silver as the ball comes out now for the Redtails. And a good contest there from Jake Farrell just ensures that stoppage, and they'll be happy with that, the BRFL boys.
Oh, Jake Farrell. See him on my team sheet, but
yeah, Nooka boy originally from Minieri.
Played a bit of footy for Waratahs too a few years back.
He has an exciting junior who came through the Big Rivers Hawk system, and now lives at Pepper Minardi. Oh, boundary umpire might have to do that again. Yeah, lives at Pepper Minardi now, and still comes and plays for the Nooka Bulldogs, and still a great talent, young Jake. And good to see him out there today. Hughes with the one over the top to the skipper, Symes, who's well tackled. Severio Jarra's in there again. Ball comes out now through Joshua, who screws one round the left foot. Here goes Patrick. And the Big Rivers are on the board. They needed that one, Stan, through Liam Patrick. And the BRFL score their first goal. They're 1-3-9. They're trailing the Redtails. 2-5-17. 8-point game. And good little passage of play there for the BRFL. I'll be happy with that.
Was, and Lightning does strike. Liam Patrick kicking there first. I'll still give some credit to Jackson Cole. We might see on the replay here. He certainly didn't give that one away. You might have heard me go, uh-oh, about now.
Yes. In
the passage of play, because I thought, oh, well, Liam Patrick will make this. He still had hold of the jumper there, Jackson Cole. He will give it everything.
We did a 1K time trial last Saturday at training, and Liam Patrick came second. He's still very, very fit and still very agile. And when that ball hits the deck, it's game on.
One of the greats of NT footy. 8 games for the Gold Coast. A magnificent career for Thunder as well. So too this bloke, Ryan Smith, on hands and knees. Tommy Clark gets the footy though for the Redtails. Slung in the tackle, but got the handball away to Alonzo Nelson. Oh, had a run. Lost control of the footy. Might have been grabbed, but the umpire's going to let it go. From about 55 out now, Nelson drills the pass low and hits the chest of Daniel Stafford, and the big fella can line up from just inside 50 and right on the boundary line. Capable of this.
Yeah, this is your distance you mentioned earlier. He was looking inboard, but I think he's settled now and having a shot. And let's see what he's got from this sort of distance.
Quite often in local footy you see him pass off, and I think he may as well go for it most of the time, such are the skills. That one's going to go right into the goal square, punched away from Kernoth just as he was about to get hands on it. Here's Matt Campbell lurking in the forward pocket. His handball being intercepted. Pretty good effort here by the Big Rivers defence. They're under a bit of pressure, but they did see it over the boundary line. We'll get a boundary throw in, and I think there's a signal of out on the full there.
Must have just come off the knee of Lockie King there as the ball.
Matt Campbell's not going to waste it. He'll pass off to Charlie McAdam.
He just fell asleep there momentarily, the BRFL. I think the call took him by surprise, and now Redtails have got a shot, and they can get this goal back quite quickly on the BRFL.
Yeah, the call caught the commentator by surprise. I think that might have been it for the Big River defenders too. I think they were just, we're going to have a boundary throw in here, and
yes,
Campbell was onto it. McAdam misses, through for one behind.
Just to the left again, and it's a 9-point ball game here. Lockie King with the kick in, the Catherine South defender. Comes out towards the scoreboard side of the ground, and it's Silva. He's playing well, Silva, picking up good possessions here, and really working hard up and down that far wing, which isn't the easiest place to play out there at the moment. Captain Symes there with the hand pass. Silva again, and just beats the tackle and takes off. Fantastic play, brings it inboard. Great mark there, the young boy Henry Dryer. No, it's Elijah Kelly, sorry. He comes into the centre now, looking for Jarrah, and just popped in front there. It was Lockyer.
Dylan Barry,
sorry. And they come out now, the Redtails.
He got it to Gareth Remfrey, had a bit of a run down the wing, and his kick inside 50 is good. Hit Matt Campbell on the chest, long lead out from full forward there from Campbell. He's been one of the Redtails' best. He's been in all the action in the forward line, and when he's wandered up around the midfield, he's got his hands on the footy as well, the veteran. Kicked 6 goals for Buffs a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he's been a sea of calm in what's been a pretty frantic game of football. Just skills are on show here from the veteran.
Can't convert though from 40 out. Kick just out to the left through for another behind the Redtails. I know you sort of get the impression here they might be wasting some opportunities. 2 goals, 7-19. Big Rivers footy league 1-3-9.
Yeah, they really need to start converting because it could come back to bite them here in a long contest in the heat. With Parry brings the ball out. Cossack can't mark, comes down. Smith's there. Hands come out from Cossack. The football's tight. Hands again. Fitzclarence overruns it. Redtails now come back in forward. King's there. He's held there. Driver cleans up, looking good. Classy to Farrell. Farrell comes out now, goes wide, looking for that man Silver. Again, gets his foot on the ball, comes forward here through Fitzclarence. Is that out wide? Dan Allen, sorry. The plumber. Oh, gets a kick there, the plumber. A little workhorse from the Catherine Camels, Dan Allen. We really rate him at Catherine South. When we feel like we're losing a game, it's because he's chopping us up, and when he gets his hands on football, it can be dangerous. So he comes into Patrick, who can't take the mark, and the Redtails clean up again, and they run it out there through
Sean Foster. Kick out towards the wing. Yeah, numbers advantage here for Big Rivers Footy League, but gee, that was a pretty good tap out there by Smith over to Barry. Barry got it to his teammate, slung in the tackle, holding the ball. Advantage given now. Big Rivers, Paddy Heenan inside 50. He was looking for Patrick. In front of him, Cole. It bounced off his chest, but he's good enough to get the handball away to Rowan Armstrong, who kicks out to Alonzo Nelson. He's now got it on the half-back flank. Didn't take the mark, speared the pass forward to Foster. Oh, Foster's handball to Charlie McAdam. Little look away there from McAdam. And now the kick will go out to the half-forward flank. It was off the boot of Luke Foster to Nigel Lockyer. Lockyer breaks the tackle, 30 out. He should be kicking this, but he's just missed.
And again,
he's kicked 1 goal 2 this term.
He's been good, and they're going to have to try and shut him down here. The Big Rivers, they're going to have to come together at half-time. I think he's one that's going to be on the board as someone that they need to shut down. Oh, Nugan Barjabar with an ordinary kick there, and lucky to get away with that one.
Lockyer, I believe, might be heading down to an SANFL club after this. Not too far off getting picked up by Essendon a couple of years ago. Played in some trials for them. We've still got some hopes down our way that he might get to the big time one day.
Yeah, fantastic. And look, one of the blessings of last year, Stan, in all the COVID stuff, was just the standard of footballers that did stay and play in some of our local leagues. All Williams there just tried to do a little bit too much. Probably should have taken that first option, and he's coughed it up there, and looks like it's Lockyer again. Is it Lockyer over there? No.
Dylan Barry.
Dylan Barry, that man.
He will go with the left foot as well. He's a cousin of Dom Barry, who played some AFL for Melbourne and Port Power. NT Thunder representative when Thunder was still going, and he's played in a premiership for Southern Districts as well. 4 premierships in a row for Rovers in recent years. Normally pretty good kick, and no exception there. He's got the distance, he's got the accuracy, and he's got the 3rd goal on the board for the Redtails.
Yeah, well, they wanted to convert that one, the Redtails, and then really starting to put some scoreboard pressure on the BRFL. They skip out here to a 17-point lead, and the BRFL are going to really have to compose themselves here. They're going to need 1 back at least before half-time, as we've got about 5 minutes to go in this quarter till half-time. And, yeah, as I said, they really need to get 1 back here, the BRFL, as they ring in a few changes here in the middle. They're going to go large here in the centre here with Glenn Hughes coming in. He's a utility, Glenn Hughes, 22. You know, he's a tall man, but he's very, very athletic. Can play on the ball as a ruck rover. Smith now with the tap as it comes down. Fitzclarence can't take it away. The Redtails clean up. Dan Allen, the plumber's there, and kicks the ball out. Paddy Heenan now with the hands out to Silver. Silver can't be clean. He's dropped the football there, and he's been penalised by the umpire.
Yeah, bad luck there for Silver. Had a pretty good game, though.
Yeah, he's probably been BRFL's best, I would say. A lot of possessions, just probably would have been happy with a cleaner touch there, but
Ethan Little with the free kick for the Redtails. Hard worker, Ethan Little. Fitness machine. He'll still be one of the Redtails running at the end of the game. Kick is direct towards centre half forward. Lock your front position. Took the mark and hit the ground running. Just gets away from the tackler. 45 out in towards the big sticks again. And another behind on the board. 3 more of them and it'll be another goal.
Absolutely.
He's kicked 3 points, I think.
They could really break the game open here, the Redtails, and it's looking likely. So composure's needed. Nugambajabar takes a bounce, runs it out here towards the grandstand side, looking for Joshua, who takes a good mark under pressure. Goes back and settles. Fitzclarence is calling for the football. He goes to him now. Oh, bounces off his chest. And the Redtails come in forward here through Abbott. Looking for Stafford. Stafford can't take the mark. It's cleaned up there by Hall. Hall to Hughes. Hughes to Nugambajabar. Into the centre now. Scrubby kick. Silver can't pick it up. Goes again now, Silver. Looks for the football. There's that man again. Matty Campbell cleans up with the hand pass. Now with a nice little kick there over to Little. Little turns and goes. Pumps it in looking for Stafford. Stafford can't mark. Doesn't carry.
Oh.
And Lockyer again.
This time.
Starting to break the game open here.
Yep, and he might be the man, Nigel Lockyer. He's kicked 2 goals to go with 3 behinds in this term. So I was about to mention the half back line or the whole entire back 6 for Big Rivers Footy League. They've been fantastic. They've stood up under a fair bit of pressure, but eventually the dam wall broke with Lockyer. She's pretty happy about it on the replay too.
They've worked hard. They're just looking like they're tiring a little bit. We thought it was going to be maybe the Redtails in the heat, but they've been fantastic, the Redtails. They look up and about, and it looks like it's actually the BRFL boys that are a little bit flat at the moment. So the big 3 minutes here. They don't want to concede another one because you'd be thinking that the game of football will be getting away from them.
Yeah, look, to win the game, I would have thought the Redtails need to lead by around about this, maybe a little bit more at the main break.
Crucial play here as the Redtails go forward again from the tap. O'Connor misses it, now picks up, cleans up, handballs to himself, follows up with the kick. Redtails here on the football. O'Connor does well, great pressure. Cossack's in there as well. O'Connor again, Cossack with the hand pass now. Williams comes in board, just that fumble again. Cossack now with the kick, it's touched. It'll be play on as it hits the ground. Driver. As they come now, the Redtails, it is there through Foster.
Too
far.
Weaving his way through traffic, but the reason he went too far is because the Big Rivers defenders kept coming at him. As soon as he got around one, another one came, and he didn't have time to take the bounce.
Good pressure as Williams goes forward now, looking for McDonald. That's a lazy play there from McDonald. Put the push out, and the Redtails just mop up there through Armstrong.
Beautiful kick he is. Got it to Darren Abbott, captain of the side, out on that scoreboard wing. Kick it in the middle, a beauty. One of the veterans of CAFL footy, Gareth Remfrey. Remfrey direct, straight up the middle. They're looking for Lockyer again. This time the big fist away from behind by Kelly. Smith had it in one hand, dragged off it. Maybe a bit unlucky there. Shaney Miles on hands and knees over the top of the footy. And we'll get a ball up at centre forward for the Redtails. So Shaney Miles from the Pioneer Football Club. He'll be the backup ruckman for Carlisle. Normally goes at solo all day when he's rucking for Pioneer. Not too many big fellas in Alice footy.
Well, same for Ryan Smith. He didn't get much of a chop out when he was at Catherine South, I can tell you. He really earned his money down there.
Oh, Kernoth. Sticky fingers, Tosh Kernoth.
There's a good mark in these conditions. We've seen many players fumbling the football, and that one stuck right between the Dukes.
I reckon you might be seeing a bit of him in the Catherine Football League this year. I was talking to him before the game. He's staying there at the moment.
Fantastic.
And where it is, he might be lining up down there.
Fantastic. Well, now that we know that he's on the market, we'll be talking to him.
He's kicked one already. Looking for his second. Noted goal kicker. He swings it through. Used the breeze beautifully if there's any out there. Otherwise, it was just a natural swing. And right on the half-time siren, the Redtails get their 5th. Move their score on to 5-9-39. The Big Rivers Football League 1 goal 3-9. You've seen some great representative football action in the first half on NITV. Don't go anywhere.
Half-time here at TIO Stadium, and a late goal for the Redtails gives them a 30-point lead.
Exploring the territory. If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Head on in to Cazaly's Palmerston Club. Business meetings, coffee breaks, or just unwinding, Cazaly's has you covered. It's the perfect spot for a catch-up with friends, with stylish function areas suitable for any occasion. Sensational meals. Our family-friendly bistro has plenty of delicious options. All the latest machines in our modern gaming room. Get around the pool tables and prove your skills. Fancy a flutter? We've got full betting facilities available. Cazaly's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Hello, Charlie King here from the No More campaign. The campaign asks all Australians to say no more to family violence. The high and unacceptable levels of family violence in Australia are a national shame for all of us, but we can do something about it. We can link arms to symbolically show national unity. We can speak out against family violence, and we can encourage each other to be more respectful in our relationships.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Head on in to Cazaly's Palmerston Club. Business meetings, coffee breaks, or just unwinding, Cazaly's has you covered. It's the perfect spot for a catch-up with friends, with stylish function areas suitable for any occasion. Sensational meals. Our family-friendly bistro has plenty of delicious options. All the latest machines in our modern gaming room. Get around the pool tables and prove your skills. Fancy a flutter? We've got full betting facilities available. Cazaly's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital, television production, energised.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Head on in to Cazaly's Palmerston Club. Business meetings, coffee breaks, or just unwinding, Cazaly's has you covered. It's the perfect spot for a catch-up with friends, with stylish function areas suitable for any occasion. Sensational meals. Our family-friendly bistro has plenty of delicious options. All the latest machines in our modern gaming room. Get around the pool tables and prove your skills. Fancy a flutter? We've got full betting facilities available. Cazaly's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Half-time here at TIO Stadium, and it was a late goals for the Redtails, gives them a 30-point lead. The Big Rivers won 3-9 to the Redtails, 5-9, 39. Don't forget a big afternoon of football here at TIO Stadium this afternoon at 4:30. It is the NTFL Women's up against the Sandful Glenelg Women's, and the big match later this evening with the NTFL Men's up against the Sandful Glenelg Tigers. That's coming your way at TIO Stadium a little bit later this evening. But right now it's half-time in the curtain raise of the Big River Football League 139, trailing the Redtails 5-9-39.
And welcome back to NITV's coverage of the NTFL Representative Challenge between the Central Australian Football Club Redtails and the Big Rivers Football League. My name's Dan Coombe. Joining me in commentary, Nick Lovering. Nick, look, I keep mentioning Central Australian Football Club Redtails, not Central Australian Football League. I'll explain that. This is a club. It's not a league-driven team. It's a football club created by Rob Clark. He's actually down on the sidelines at the moment with coach Sean Cusack. So it'd be remiss of me not to give Rob Clark his better half Alicia too, because I'm sure she invests a lot in it. Real pat on the back, and blokes like Ian McAdam and Darren Talbot that are always around helping. We might not have representative footy at all if it wasn't for their efforts.
Yeah, fantastic concept, and doing great work in the community. And it's not just about football, my understanding. And well done to Rob and all his team on a great effort. Big Rivers Football League, a little bit different for us. We've gone back to a league representative model. So, yeah, all of these guys have played in the league in 2020.
Ball back in the middle, and Carlisle in the ruck. This time it's Kelly who's doing some ruck work, giving Smith a little bit of relief. Handball came out of the pack from Luke Adams. Quick kick forward from Gareth Renfrey towards Tosh Kerner for the half forward. Normally going for the mark. Lockyer this time he gets the crumbs. The handball to Adams. Adams kicks forward. Stafford can't hold on to it. And it's through for one behind. Got a little bit extra excited there, Nick. Sorry, the nephew was having a shot towards goal.
Yeah, interesting move there with Kelly going into the ruck. He was being soundly beaten at centre half back, so they've rung the changes here at half time. The BRFL, big fly there from Kelly, can't take the mark. Ball comes to ground. Redtails there to mop up. Cale Cossack now with the football, sells the dummy, goes too long, doesn't get penalised. Jake Farrell mops up, kicks high, looking for Williams. Williams can't take the mark. McDonald there, can't get the hands. He'll get a second chance. McDonald just not clean with the football. Scrubby kick now to Williams. Williams turns, gets his eyes up, and misses to the right. They need an early one here, Big Rivers, to get back in touch.
You did mention there he wasn't clean with the football. Something I noticed was he had time because Liam Patrick did the shepherding. The little things you don't see with players, you know, everyone thinks about you getting the footy, but some of the things you do when you haven't got it. He almost set up a goal as Lachlan Lake took the mark from the kick in, and he went along and found Dylan Barry. Scoreboard side, half-back flank, gets around onto that favoured left boot, and he thumps it forward. Nigel Lockyer on the lead, takes a mark on the chest from the wing. Kicks it out wide, out in front of Tosh Kernoth. He's got some toe. Kernoth gathers just inside the boundary line, had one bounce, then ran into a little bit of a brick wall, had to shimmy around his opponent. Kicking towards goal, Stafford's taken the mark. And he'll get a shot at goal from a pretty tight angle. That was probably the Redtails' best passage of play today.
Yeah, look good. Stafford goes round quickly, kicks a goal. Fantastic start there for the Redtails.
Coast to coast, they get their 6 on the board. 6-9, 45 to 1 goal for 10. First goal for Big Stafford, so whoever's had the job on him has done it pretty well.
Yeah, and it looks as if they've really rung the changes here, the BRFL. Looks like the BRFL's main shutdown man, Joel Budrick's gone to Lockyer, and it was Lockyer that set that play up again. He's been very good in the first half and really got the Redtails away to a good start here in the second half. So big job there for Budrick. They wouldn't have wanted to use him as a shutdown here, the BRFL. They want him running through the middle, but they need to really, really quieten the influence of Lockyer here. As the ball up comes now, umpire Graheck sends it up. It's Elijah Kelly there now with the football. Goes off with the left foot. It's not a good kick into space. The chase is on there. And who was that mate out there? He's got some wheels.
T3 champ. Motoring, and versatile footballer. We'll see him probably stay at half back now, but when he gets into local football, we call him Iron Curtain because he's hard to get past at half back, but I tell you, you can throw him into the middle, we can do some ruck as an undersized ruckman, he can go forward and kick goals too. Pretty good player, Luke Adams. Gets the footy again on that far side wing. He's been pretty handy. Lockyer dropped that one. Time to recover. Little handball back in board. His teammate Charlie McAdam there couldn't quite get the handle on it, but over to Lockyer. Lockyer's kick. Crumbs gathered by Dylan Barry. Snap in towards goal. This time Stafford can't get hands on it. It floats through for a behind of the Redtail. 6-10-46. 1 goal, 4-10. Big Rivers Footy League.
They've really come out motoring here, the Redtails, and they're looking very, very dangerous. There's some weather coming in, and they get a couple more goals here. They can put this game of football away as they intercept the mark there, and it's Rowan Armstrong there with the mark. And
Armstrong, leg normally is too.
And a good mark there.
Might be young Foster, I reckon, Sean Foster. But Rowan Armstrong, something about left footers, Nick. I don't know, he is the epitome of them. This lad left-footed as well with a footy, Sean Foster. Lefties just seem to have that nice, low, penetrating.
Yeah, so they always bring that really aesthetic element to the game, don't they?
See if Foster can back up all that nice talk from us. He has. He's put it straight over the goal umpire's head. He gets his first, and a couple of quick ones to start the third term for the Redtails.
Yeah, well, they've just been absolutely dominant around the football. They've been cleaner, the skills have been better, and they're really just putting a package together here, and it's starting to become a little bit of a show of strength here from the Redtails, and led through Lockyer. They've been fantastic in their smaller brigade as well. I don't think they've won a lot of hit-outs, but they've definitely cleaned up in the stoppages, so it's been very important for them. Here's Ryan Smith now for the BRFL, just trying to bring his boys back together. And
got him in a little group and a chat there.
Just recharge, reset, and see if they can...
You could forgive him if he said, look, I'm winning all the taps, what are you three doing?
Exactly. It's been very good.
There he goes again.
Jamison Galbraith, the umpire, with a great bounce there, and Heenan just overruns, misses the kick now. Ball comes in, Williams there with the good hands, but misses.
It's Abbott.
Misses the target. Ball's in dispute.
Well done, Cassidy, for its clearance.
Brave.
Yeah.
The veteran.
That's why he's there.
Exactly.
And he's got a pretty face too. I wouldn't be hurting it if I was him. Great bloke. Kick up towards half forward here. Slick little handball over to Liam O'Connor. Oh, into a bit of traffic. What's the umpire going to call here? He's giving him a free kick. Taken high.
The captain there, Andrew Symes, I think he was a bit fortunate. It was about an 8-metre kick. But he'll have a shot for goal. And there is some serious weather coming in here, Stan, so that could
we
really
can see on the screen Vic Ludwig there, the legend of St Mary's, getting up and moving. Bumped into him earlier, 92 years old. Fit as a fiddle. Drove in. No probs.
Symes now, terrible kick, doesn't come off the boot well at all. Ball comes to ground and it's rushed through for a behind. They needed that, Big Rivers, and just Symes, the captain there, wasn't able to deliver as Foster comes out now with the football. Goes one way just to the next, and then has a bounce. Drives it long under the wing, but it's all Big Rivers, and it's that man Williams. He's been good. Really kept them in the contest here, and he drives the Big Rivers back forward now as player slips over there. It's the captain, Symes. He can't get his hands away over the football. The umpire's going to call it here, and it's holding the football.
Jared Abbott. Ryan Curtin will get the free kick on the half-back flank. We're just having a look at this weather coming in. It's certainly blustery out there, but I reckon it might be going straight across ground towards the scoreboard side. I don't think it's favouring either end. Bobby Jr., you can say it.
Nugambajaba gets a hand pass, and it's Heenan now with the kick. Just goes backward a bit. Back to him. Nugambajaba again with the mark. And the kick quickly there into Williams. Williams takes the mark, just assesses his options, just slows it down. Redtails setting up very well here behind the football. Goes in the direction of Farrell. Farrell now with the mark. Oh, I thought he'd paid that. He probably took that mark. Symes now with the kick. Hurry kick at Silver there, scouting the ball. Just went too long, and I think he's been caught. Just couldn't quite get the job done there. Curtly Silver in front of goal.
Is he getting one over the shoulder?
Oh.
What stopped him in his tracks first up was the desperation of Jackson Cole. I think the second tackle over the shoulder, he's going to play on and have a shot for goal here. And he's missed through for one behind.
It's disappointing. You would have thought from that distance you'd just go back and slot it through with a drop punt, but footballers of today, Stan, they're different.
Yeah, they like the little Stevie J kick around the corner, don't they? I still reckon go back and slot it through with a drop punt. It's worked for 150 years as Paddy Heenan does a nice drop punt forward. Liam Patrick on the lead out from full forward takes the mark on the chest. Well, it's the right weather for a lightning bolt.
That just as the grey clouds come, so does the lightning.
Yes. Well, they need this, and he's the man to deliver for them, I think. Liam Patrick, he's kicked their only goal so far. 45 metres out when he gets boot the ball here. Kick on its way. Oh, might have just drifted wide of the post. One behind on the board. They're starting to pepper the goals. They're just not getting it straight at the moment, Big Rivers Footy League. 1-7-13, Redtails 7-10-52.
They'll be happy with the passage of play, but they needed the 2 goals, and they're going to have to keep pressuring the Redtails back line here. As a young fella brings the football out, looking there for it was McAdam who spills the mark. Ball goes to ground, and here's young driver, gets the hands out to Williams. Williams breaks the tackle, gets his hands, but it's all Redtails as they bring it down the wing now through that man Foster. Kicks the ball up, and a good mark taken there. That's Luke Adams, Toshi Kernoth with the football now. Stafford. Lockyer again.
And he's going to play on, gives the handball off, back to Kernoth, who gave it to him, and Kernoth in the end from a metre out. They made hard work of it, but he's got a goal on the board. 3 now for Kernoth here, and Lockyer are the ones causing headaches up there.
They're starting to convert now, the Redtails. When they go in forward, they're looking very dangerous every time, and they missed a lot of opportunities in the first half, but seems that they've got over the yips, and they're really starting to put the scoreboard pressure on here.
I think worth mentioning too, we didn't see it on the latter stages of that passage of play in the replay, but earlier on, Sean Foster and Charlie McAdam involved in setting it up, and probably appropriate we say that. We've got the great man Gilbert McAdam in our presence at the moment, and doesn't he know about playing football on this particular day? He played in the early days of the clashes against Essendon and the Swans and the likes of that.
Yes, been watching a few of the AFL classics over the 2020. It's been great to see some of those old fellas on the footy on the Foxtel. It's been great.
You go the Redtails again. Tom Clark got the centre clearance kick inside 50. Adam Parry working hard back there in defence, but he got it over to a teammate whose kick was smothered. Dylan Barry, the smotherer, picks it up and snaps around the body with the left, and he's put that one through. And suddenly, bang, 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 quick goals to the Redtails.
Yeah, it's really starting to get away here from the BRFL, and as I said, every time they go forward now, the Redtails, they're looking very, very dangerous. They've got their tails up, and they're really starting to show their class.
See on the replay there, Dylan Barry after the smother. Pretty good snap on the left. Yeah, I guess you have a look. He, Kernoth and Lockyer involved in setting those 2 goals up. I reckon they're probably the 3 main keen players for the Redtails.
Yeah, they've been very good. Lockyer especially for me. He's just been very mobile on the half-forward line. He's just chopped us up all day. Ball up now. No one gets a hit out. Ball comes to ground. Joshua in there. Can't get the ball out. Looks like the umpire will come in and reset.
Now the margin looks like it might be out of hand, Nick, but time for Big Rivers Football League to dig deep and just start pegging it back, and then who knows? Get a couple back and see what happens.
Yeah, it's about rolling out that pride thing now, and really just playing for the jumper, playing for each other, enjoying the occasion, and maybe just getting a few goals back on the scoreboard.
Like Stafford's been moved into the ruck. There's Charlie McAdam with a footy. Oh, and Lockyer. There they are again. I reckon that's happened a few times in the past. McAdam to Lockyer. Maybe not with these 2.
He's just been far
probably
too
in the old
quick.
days for South.
He's just been far too quick, Lockyer. Again there, Joel Budrick's a premiership defender from Nightcliff, and he was just a little bit too quick for him there, and all class.
Have a look at the body shape of this fella. I mentioned he got close with Essendon a couple of years ago. He's put that one through for his 3rd. Nice kick. I don't know. I reckon there's still potential there for this young man to get to the top level.
Yeah, well, you see now at the top level, things have changed, and you can see guys at 22, 23, 24 getting an opportunity. So I suppose it's about maintaining that level of fitness, making sure that your body's right, and if you get an opportunity that you're ready to take it with both hands.
There's the replay. Charlie McAdam with the ball in his hand, about to do. I saw that picture of Nigel Lockyer on screen there. That's the body I want when I grow up, Nick.
Yes. It's a body I once had, I think. It's gone now.
I never had that. 10, 11, 1, 7. I'm finding it a bit hard to believe, mate.
Yeah, it's getting away from us now. Smith now with the kick, and Paddy Heenan here sends Big Rivers forward. Patrick with the mark. Yeah. Good mark. He needs to go back here and just really settle the boys, get a goal here, and we start again. So Patrick, he's been very good.
Yep.
He's been very good. I think perhaps in the first half, the Big Rivers were a little bit, looking for him a little bit too much, and probably could have exposed some other options. But he started this half very well.
Look, if he wasn't at the stage of his career where he's now 33 years of age, a few years ago, you'd be throwing him in the middle now and getting him to do some ruck work and run the opposition ruckman off their legs and get plenty of it around the ground. Still got it, Liam Patrick. His second goal, the Big Rivers Football League second goal. He's the go-to man in their forward line, and that's what we expected. Yeah,
I hear what you're saying. I mean, we always had it on the cards that, Liam has that opportunity to go on and play on the ball, but losing Cam Arnold, the Doug Kelly medalist, played last night, has to play again Tuesday. Just couldn't get up for today. It's really just left us exposed deep in the forward line. So Liam's done a great job down there today, and we're very, very proud to have him in the team.
Something just noticed on the replay there too, it was a beautiful kick, Paddy Heenan, but in the background, the young man that's done a good job on him, Jackson Cole, went down holding the ankle and just limping around the sidelines at the moment. So it might open the door for Liam Patrick to get a couple more, because Cole's restricted him a bit.
Disappointing for the young fella. He's been exceptional. The Redtails go forward here again. It's that man Campbell. Is it under the ball there? As the ball comes to ground, Abbott with the hand pass over the top. And it's that Henry Driver, that touch of class, the young 17-year-old. Kale Cossack's there, can't pick it up. It's Stafford now. As the ball comes in now, it is through Cole.
Might be Armstrong.
Yep.
Oh, you couldn't do that, could you?
Look good.
Fine player, Rowan Armstrong. Represented the NT at under 18 level.
Budrick with the kick in now for BRFL and finds Elijah Kelly from Larger Manu. Kelly comes wide now looking for Heenan, just runs over the top. Ball comes to ground, and there'll be a throw-in on the far forward flank.
Hasn't been too bad either, Paddy Heenan. He's been all right and did play last night.
Did play last night, Paddy, and we mentioned before the game it would be great to get a win for Paddy, because he's been doing it hard this year with the Bombers. They're having a tough season.
He's well known down our way too, and a cheerio to Noel Heenan. He'll be at Ulamu watching this.
Liam O'Connor here from the Catherine Football Club just brings it out along the wing. As Michael Joshua there to mop up. He's had a quiet day. He needs to insert himself into this game. Davenhall now with the football, misses the target with the hand pass, and the Redtails, as usual, there to mop up. Good tackle. And umpire doesn't pay the kick. And I think we'll have a stoppage here on the wing, just on the scoreboard side of the ground.
Ethan Little taking the ground with the footy in his hands. Gave a little wave to the umpire, just to indicate that he didn't have possession of it.
I'm surprised the
There's
lights.
Armstrong swoops on that. Gee, I like watching him play. Handball off to Dylan Barry. He's had a fine game himself. Scrubs this one along the ground, inside 50. Nice pick up by Driver. Over to his teammate. Was that Parry with the kick out of defence? Budrick. It's gone straight to Rowan Armstrong again, having some real influence in the middle in this third term. Beautiful kick once more with the left. It's hit Tosh Kernoth on the chest. And Toshy will go back and line up from just outside 50. Must be right on his kicking distance.
Yeah, it'll be a good kick from here.
A little bit of an angle to contend with as well. He's about 10 metres in from the boundary line. He's kicked 3 already. Tosh Kernoth. Gee, almost had the distance. Just off hands on the line. Good defence by Big Rivers Football League. 3 for 1 behind. I'm thinking Matt Campbell may be injured. I don't think I've noticed him in this third quarter out on the ground at all.
No, he was very influential in the first half, so maybe having a rest, just saving those old legs. Or just
as I speak, I see him jogging down on the south. Maybe he hurt us.
Maybe it takes a little while for the older guys to get going in the second half. It's really darkened up here overhead. The light's really kicking in here, Stan, so I wonder if we're going to get some rain.
Some impact too with a couple of more games to come. Oh, Darren Abbott swoops on the footy, 50 out from goal for the Redtails, runs to within 45, goes with his non-preferred left. He is pretty good on both, but that's his non-preferred top line, and through for a behind. 10-14, 74 to 2-7-19. Lights are on.
Adam Parry to bring the ball back in for the BRFL. Swings out here towards the grandstand side of the ground. High kick looking for Smith. Ball falls short. Spence can't take the mark. Ball comes down. Redtails football. That man, Kerneth, is really starting to exert his influence on the game here.
He's a good effort getting the ball forward. Thomas Swan too. Clever little left-footed kick. 3 goals to Kerneth, 3 goals to Lockyer. Been the dangers up in the forward line. They're both mobile, but both good marking targets. And both kicked a few behinds to go with their goals as well.
The goal umpires have worked hard today. And just a bit of a shout out to the goal umpire down there, Jo Hill. She's from Catherine. Fantastic to see her getting her opportunity on the big stage. Got into umpiring about 5 or 6 years ago, and she's a mum of 2 and works at Clyde Fenton Primary School. And congratulations to her getting an opportunity out here today.
Great plug. Jamal Lynch, nice jump from behind. He's taken the mark. He's going to set the Redtails forward again. Lonzo Nelson screaming for it just inside 50. But there's a couple of other marking targets down there. Stafford's the one he's gone for, and Stafford comes out on the lead and takes a mark in front of the eyes. The big fella to go back and line up for number 2. I reckon he spent most of this term around the midfield.
Yeah, he's been very good. Stafford here. This is his range. Just watching some of these rotations now, starting to see some tired legs out there, Stan. It's as we mentioned earlier, both of these clubs are out of season. Stafford now looks good, and they're really starting to run away with it here, the Redtails, as it goes to 11-14-80 to the Big River Football League, 2-7-19. So that's a lead of 10 goals now. And as I said, we're looking for some pride here from the BRFL boys, and the Redtails really just, they'll probably be looking to put their foot on the throat of their opponent now and run away with the game.
6-goal quarter by the Redtails. I wouldn't have thought in their wildest dreams the coaching staff would have been expecting this at 3-quarter time. But when it does come along, you've got to take it.
Absolutely. They've been well structured, very well disciplined.
Back in the middle, looks like a change in the ruck. The Hughes going in against Shaney Miles. Rowan Armstrong having quite a quarter. Nice little kick forward to Gareth Remfrey, who turned around and played on. He went looking for Lockyer. This time the defensive pressure was good. Attempted snap. That's a great smother too. Robbie Smith has another go at it. Well, and just misses with the second effort. Well, still credit to Big Rivers Football League backline. They've worked hard today.
Yeah,
and
they've been
continue to do so.
Yeah, they've been very good. They've trying circumstances. They've been resolute there, led by Adam Parry. Nungam Bajabar's been good, but he can't take the mark there in that instance, and it's Miles now with the football as he kicks it in now, and he finds that man again.
Dylan Barry. So he's kicked 2. Mountain of footy around the middle. I reckon he's delivered a few of those low trajectory lefts to Kernoth and Lockyer and the likes of that.
Yeah, he's been very, very classy.
Well, right on the 50 line as he gets boot the ball, and distance not an issue at all. He's hit the post about halfway up. Another point on the board to the Redtails. It's a good kick.
I suppose when all's done and dusted tonight, I think the BRFL might sit down and say, well, look, even if the Redtails had kicked a bit straighter, it could have been even worse. So.
And look, regardless of what's happened today, I think Big Rivers Football League and game, they can be much more competitive than this and can be a winner against Central Australia. I've seen it with my own eyes in the past. Got great healthy respect for their footy. Every now and then, everyone has a bad day. 3-quarter time and a 6-goal quarter to the Redtails gives them a pretty big lead at 3-quarter time. They're 11-16-82. The Barclay Rivers football, the Big Rivers, Barclay, I've gone a bit too far south. The Big Rivers Football League, 2-7-19. Stay with us on NITV. One more quarter of this one to go.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Head on in to Cazaly's Palmerston Club. Business meetings, coffee breaks, or just unwinding, Cazaly's has you covered. It's the perfect spot for a catch-up with friends, with stylish function areas suitable for any occasion. Sensational meals. Our family-friendly bistro has plenty of delicious options. All the latest machines in our modern gaming room. Get around the pool tables and prove your skills. Fancy a flutter? We've got full betting facilities available. Cazaly's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Hello, Charlie King here from the No More campaign. The campaign asks all Australians to say no more to family violence. The high and unacceptable levels of family violence in Australia are a national shame for all of us, but we can do something about it. We can link arms to symbolically show national unity. We can speak out against family violence, and we can encourage each other to be more respectful in our relationships.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Head on in to Cazaly's Palmerston Club. Business meetings, coffee breaks, or just unwinding, Cazaly's has you covered. It's the perfect spot for a catch-up with friends, with stylish function areas suitable for any occasion. Sensational meals. Our family-friendly bistro has plenty of delicious options. All the latest machines in our modern gaming room. Get around the pool tables and prove your skills. Fancy a flutter? We've got full betting facilities available. Cazaly's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
And welcome back to NITV's coverage of the NTFL Representative Challenge match between the Central Australian Football Club Redtails and the Big Rivers Football League. And you can see on your screen things changed during the three-quarter time.
Three-quarter time as the rain sets in here at TIO Stadium. And it's the Big Rivers 2-7-19 trailing the Redtails 11-16-82. Plenty more footy action coming here this afternoon at TIO Stadium at 4:30. It's the NTFL Women's taking on the Glenelg Women's, and 6:30 tonight the NTFL Men's side taking on the Glenelg Men's Premier League at 6:30. Right now, fourth quarter about to get underway. It's the Big Rivers 2-7-19, Redtails 11-17-83.
Well, you can tell that in the way they play their football. So looking forward to this last quarter here and seeing what the BRFL can salvage from this, and they'll be looking for a bit of pride in this last quarter, Stan.
Right, the umpire takes his time here because Redtails coach Sean Cusack still got a little bit of ground to make up here to actually get off the playing field.
You know what they say, some people walk in the rain, others just get wet.
He's probably enjoying it. We don't see much of it down in our neck of the woods.
That's right.
And look, I would expect, I'd expect Big Rivers to actually have the better of this term because we don't see much wet weather football down in Alice over 20 odd years. I can count the amount of times I've seen it on my fingers.
So as they go here, the Big Rivers Football Club, it's Joshua and Kale Cossack looking to put a tackle on, but it's that man again. Parry with the football as he goes with the left, going forward. Defender can't take the mark there for Big Rivers Football as it comes down. It's Liam Patrick there with the tackle. Ball's free. Allen in under there, the plumber from Catherine. Can't get his hands to the football. It's now looking like wet weather football 101.
Oh, tough one. And you mentioned the plumber out there. In these conditions, the plumber should just tap it out.
Yes. Tap and drain.
On the attacking 50 for the Redtails. This has really changed the complexion of this game. It's real wet weather footy now. Big tackle applied. Big Rivers player dumped to the ground face first. The ball comes out to Adam Parry in the end. His kick around the corner has been intercepted. The Redtails drive it back inside the attacking 50. Kernoth there. Can't take the footy with him again. Parry down on the hands and knees. Doing some hard work. Attempted kick out there by Joel Buderick. Eventually the boundary umpire is going to get involved with this and have a boundary throw in about 20-25 metres around from the Redtails goal. I don't think we're going to see the same goal rush we saw in the third term now.
No, it will definitely change the complexion of this game, and we've already seen that here in the first couple of minutes of this last quarter.
Campbell's back on.
Yes, comes out with that raking hand pass out wide. High ball there from the Redtails as it goes in towards the top of the square. Ball comes down. Silver with the... Can't get the hand pass out, but it comes out to Buderick now with the kick.
Oh!
Goes high, big fly there. Tom Spence can't take the mark. Redtails clean up again and go with another high one into the forward 50 there, swirling around in that wind. Ball comes down. Campbell looked to take it, but couldn't quite possess the football. Comes down now. Hand pass in there. It really is a war of attrition now, and Buderick with the mark. And the Nightcliff Premiership defender just wheels away here on the left. Goes now with a kick out towards the grandstand side of the ground. Lockie King in pursuit of the football. He'll love this. He's a wet weather type of man. He kicks the football long. Elijah Kelly up forward. He's been moved up there from the half back line. Can't quite come to this young fella back on the ground again. He's had a good day.
Yeah, Jackson Cole worked hard there to get back and get involved, prevent his opponent getting the footy. Got it out to Tom Clark, but eventually Elijah Kelly, a kick in towards goal for the Big Rivers Footy League, and he's got it into a attacking position here for them. The boundary thrown will take place right next to the behind post as the rain absolutely belts down here at TIO Stadium. It is really coming down now. Shaney Miles doing the ruck work for the Redtails. Matt Campbell, the veteran there, and he got the quick kick and he got a bit of a torpedo going there. Somehow spiralled itself into this cyclonic breeze. Alonzo Nelson with the footy now. Sticks to the far side of the ground. The chest mark's being taken, and was it Andrew Symes, the captain? Yeah, he's kicked forward. The Redtails, well, will they come up with a footy? No. Jake Farrell's got it in his hands at the moment. It looks like he's going to take the free kick from just outside 50.
Farrell with the high ball into the forward line there. Oh, mark taken by Kelly. Comes off now. It's a scrambling football. Players around, hands come out. It's young Cole there. Good work by the young fella as he brings it out around the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in. He'll take a lot out of today, performing on this stage as a young man. Did a great job on Liam Patrick in the first half, and he's been a real shining light for the Redtails.
Yeah, quality defender. We don't see him play much footy anywhere else but in the back line down in local football, and I think he likes it, and he's got the game that suits it too. He scraps. He'll do anything just to try and get a hand in. He's never quite beaten, and we've seen that a few times today. So footy about 45 out from the Big Rivers Football League goals. I reckon it was a handball from the Redtails that's gone astray. The ball into the forward pocket. Just needs someone to try and kick it up. Keelan Kelly over the top of it. Can't get it out. Pretty scrappy stuff. You'd expect so in these conditions. I would have thought the umpire might have balled that up about 10 seconds before he has. He will now. Edward Hampton, one of the players on the bottom of the ground.
Catherine umpire Darryl Grahek there. Congratulations to him on his appointment in today's game alongside Jamison Galbraith. And the young girl from Alice Springs, can't quite recall her name at this stage, but they've done a good job. Ball up there, and ball comes down. It's kicked off the ground there by the Redtails, out to about the 25-metre mark. It's Kelly. He's gone down. Looks like he's injured. Williams in there with the pressure. Comes back out. It's that man Silver again. Can't pick up the football cleanly. The plumber is in there with Dan Allen with the tackle.
There's
Wow.
Patrick. It's tough. I think
really is
Alonzo
tough
Nelson
football.
might have been the player to get the clearing kick out for the Redtails. Dylan Barry decides not to try and pick up the piece of soap. He goes for the soccer off the ground instead to Lockyer. Lockyer gives it back to Barry. Touches it on the ground instead of bouncing. Good safe play. The kick will go a long way forward. He knew there was no one up there, but I think he just looked for distance. Tried to maybe get it towards the boundary line. But eventually, it's Bobby Jr. linking up with Ryan Smith.
Nagabajabar bounces or touches the ball on the ground, comes back through the centre, and it's Curtly Silva with an excellent mark.
I reckon that's their two best players today,
Well,
Bobby and Silva.
Yes, he's got a 50-metre penalty here. They just crept over the mark, and so he deserves a goal here, Curtly Silva. He really has done a fantastic job on the wing out there, the boy from Nooka. And I tell you what, if this rain keeps coming down, he mightn't get back over the Wilton River and get home.
Yeah. It's a factor, isn't it?
Silva now with the kick falls short and rush through. I just want to a bit of a shout out to some of the Big River staff who've done a wonderful job supporting us. Daniel Fisher from the Catherine Camels, Peter Caldo from Catherine South, Cameron Cossack's been fantastic for us. We've mentioned Dion Kelly, he's done a wonderful job as assistant coach. Great to have him on board. So well done to all the staff. Lee Ware as the runner, Backer as the water boy out there today. We really appreciate all the efforts from you boys. So well done to the Big Rivers boys for pulling it together. As Jeffrey McDonald wheels in now with a kick into the forward line. And the ball's down on the ground. It's that man, Liam Patrick. Can he kick a goal from here? Ooh, made the distance, but looks like it's gone out on the full.
I reckon there's maybe a whistle on something that happened behind him. Because it looks like the free kick's going to come back out to the Redtails. So, yeah, I think a free kick's been paid for something off ball. Shaney Miles to take it. And he'll just give the little handball off to Charlie McAdam, who goes along with the left out to the half-back flank. That's a pretty good mark in these conditions, taken by Ethan Little. Not normally his forte either, the marking contest. Hard worker at the bottom of the pack. Normally kick towards the wing. Big Ryan Smith, marking is his forte. He takes that one on the chest and directs it back into the middle to Farrell.
Ball's loose here, and hand pass comes over. It's Kelly with the double-fisted punch there as the ball comes forward there through, looks like Williams now with the football. It's getting hard to make some of these players out in these conditions. Heenan now can't quite pick it up. So Redtails soccer it off the ground. Hall now nudges the ball forward, but there's no one there for the BRFL, and it's all the Redtails there through Foster to mop up the football as they come along the wing now. What a big slip.
Shows how slippery it is.
Big Smith now mops up for the Big Rivers Football League, comes into Williams. Williams turns and goes, does it well, pumps the ball in long. No mark taken, comes to ground. Elijah Kelly there with the football. Kelly again now. Can he make it pay on the scoreboard?
Oh,
it was great effort by young Kelly there.
Lukey Adams, I think, getting the clearing kick out of the back line. Over to Tom Clark. It's pretty hard to tell in these conditions. Clark touched it on the ground once, then a second time. And now he'll do the short pass out wide. And Darren Abbott with the footy just inside the boundary line. The captain.
I'll tell you what, I know we get some rain up in the top end, but I haven't seen our storm quite as torrential as this for this sort of length.
It just came out of absolutely nowhere too. It was lovely conditions early on. Well, as lovely as you're going to get in a wet season in Darwin, I suppose, but
it's given us absolutely everything this afternoon, the weather, hasn't it?
The footy on the half-forward flank scoreboard side of the ground. It's the Redtails end of the ground. Taken by Charlie McAdam just outside 50. Tried to break the tackles, couldn't. Well, the umpires let that go. Campbell can pick this up in the pocket. Slips out the little handball. Dylan Barry, almost a fresh air shot as the ball dribbled off his boot. Campbell goes in to apply a tackle. Another snap from deep in the forward pocket. Hits the post.
Very unfortunate.
Great effort, Nigel Lockyer.
Curtly Silva, fantastic tackle there. Wasn't rewarded by the umpire, but he's been the best player for the BRFL today by a long way. Just keeps going and going, the young man.
He's been terrific. I've got him down as Big River's best on my sheet, mate.
Davin Hall there, can't take the mark. Ball in dispute. Liam Patrick with the hands. Ngunbajabar gets a kick now. That's the ball we want. Torpedo punt up to Cale Cossack, who now turns and delivers the ball into the forward line. Allen in pursuit. Jeffrey McDonald. Can we see a little bit of the wizardry from the young Gray Morris medalist? That's gone out. And the ball's going to be thrown into the forward pocket for the Big Rivers Football League. Throw in now. Ball comes down, no clean possession. Good hands there from the Redtails footballer. Heenan it is under there for BRFL, doing some great work as the ball comes out now. Out to the far wing, no one there for the Redtails. Budrick mops up, picks up the football, looks up, assesses his options, touches the ball on the ground now, kicks into the forward line. Allen it is for the Big River Football League, can't take the mark. Good rundown tackle there again by McDonald. Ball comes free. And it's Cale Cossack now with it, pumping the football back in. And it's come off hands, and it's big Nico Farrell with a goal. The big Nooker full forward. He's had a quiet day. Probably conditions didn't suit. It was a late inclusion replacing Cam Arnold, and just really hadn't been able to work into the contest all day. But a cheap little goal there for the Big River boys, and they're probably well deserved in the last 4 or 5 minutes. They've worked really hard, and this rain really hasn't dampened their endeavour.
No, look, it would have been easy to look at that scoreboard at 3/4 time and just toss in the towel. A towel would be handy for some people at the moment down there, I suppose. But I reckon they've dominated the last 5 minutes. The ball's been in their area, and look, in better conditions, that sort of domination might have resulted in 2, 3, 4 goals.
Absolutely, and we talked about it, the ebb and flow of the game. We expected perhaps late in the game a change of conditions could really bring the BRFL into it, but they needed to be in closer contact, and the Redtails really blew them away there in that third quarter as the ball comes down now, and it's Foster again now with the football. The left foot comes out here onto the wing, looking for Robert Smith. It is there, and it's Ryan Smith for BRFL. Severio Jarrah's had a quiet day by his standards. Left foot down the wing. Farrell can't pick the football up. Symes is burrowing in there, but it is Foster again. Symes jumps in on the football. He's a bull. He'll love this.
Won't go out.
Ball won't go out. Refuses.
Oh. Rowan Armstrong got a slick handball there to Gareth Remfrey. Torped it almost up towards half forward. Yeah, that's good play, Tosh Kernoth. Wet ball and all. The handball to Dylan Barry. His handball to Stafford. Stafford will go the short pass. Matt Campbell's back out on the ground, and the veteran can run in and put it through for a goal. Well, that was some good skills in the wet conditions. I didn't necessarily think the Central Australian fellas would handle this, but that was slick in the wet.
That was an excellent passage of play, and good hands in the circumstances. And Matty Campbell on the end of the chain there, and he probably deserves a couple of goals. He's been very, very good for the Redtails, and really, really was a calming influence when that frantic pace was on early in the game.
Yeah, correct. And I reckon we haven't seen much of him through the third term, because I reckon he spent nearly the entire term sitting on the pine. So when he has been out there, he's had some influence, and it's great to see them produce a sort of team play that set the veteran up for that goal too. If I was Big Stafford, I just would have been kicking at the sticks. I didn't hand much out, Nick.
Ryan Smith now just grabs the ball from the ball up, kicks it forward. Lockie King's there. He can't influence the contest, and it's Foster again, is it? He drops the football. He's been caught. And Lockie King, as I said, he loves playing in muddy puddles, this young fella, and he'll be enjoying this as he kicks the ball forward. And that's a poor kick. There's no one there, and it's mopped up there by Kurt Abbott. Sorry, not Kurt Abbott. Adams it was down there. This ball comes out now, picked up there by Remfrey as he turns, gets the hands. Smith's there. He's been good in this last quarter, Ryan Smith. Just playing that plug role, and that's a very good mark.
And look, I'll give him a pat on the back for his first three too. Certainly his ruck work has been good.
Yeah, he really has dominated the taps, and the Big Rivers midfielders just really haven't been able to capitalise on some great service from him today. And, that's probably down to just that opportunity to come together and practice and train and, get to know each other's patterns. So, which has been very evident. The Redtails, they look a well-drilled side.
They certainly have trained for it prior to Christmas and since then. They certainly value these opportunities, and that's maybe the difference between being a club and just representing your footy league, particularly through an off-season.
Yeah, and look, the scoreboard tells the story, but I think the Big Rivers Footy League will take a lot out of this contest, and they'll go away and we'll be better for this opportunity. And that's Lockie King with a good step round the corner, but just misses to the left. He's really come into the game here in the last quarter. Young Lachlan King, he's a brilliant young man, a utility for the Catherine South Football Club down there in the BRFL, and as I said, plays in Division 1 with the Pints Football Club.
Here's Dylan Barry again. Fine game from him out of half-back. He just hasn't stopped getting the footy. There's probably the match winner, Nigel Lockie, who kicked it to, couldn't take the mark. Low to the ground. Farrell, good slick handball to Cassidy Fitzclarence, who rides the bump and gives out a nice handball too. Kicked forward by Michael Joshua, goes inside the attacking 50. It's got to the top of the goal square here for Big Rivers. Alonzo Nelson might have got a hand on that. Now Stafford picks it up and he gets the handball out to Charlie McAdam, who just steadies things down, waves to his teammates further afield. Couldn't hit him with the kick though. Jake Farrell intercepts, goes back into the wards, the goal square, and Liam Patrick, the Ludgermoney lightning bolt, takes the mark. This will be his third.
Yeah. And look, he's been a real shining light for the Big Rivers Football Club up there. And look, just great set of hands there. Knew he was going to need 2 grabs and just set himself up beautifully.
Through for Liam Patrick's third goal. So he'll be holding his head high, and I actually rate the young man that's been standing him among the Central Australians' better players.
Yeah, well, look, if it wasn't for a Jackson Cole,
How many would have he kicked?
He could have kicked 8. And for me as well, as I said, great experience for that young man to say that he's blanketed it, an AFL player of Liam Patrick standing. And, he should hold his head up high, that young fella, today, because he's done a fantastic job for his team.
He has, and it's just been great to see Liam Patrick back in action. I don't get up here often enough. He doesn't come down our way too often these days, although there was a bit of a whisper. We could see him in action in Central Australia yet next season.
Yes, he is a bit of an enigma, our man Liam. He did have a wonderful season with us in 2018 at Catherine South Crocs, won us a premiership, kicked 9 in the grand final. We'd love to have him back in the forward line of the Crocodiles, but he's a free spirit.
Ball deep in the forward line here for Big Rivers, another goal scoring opportunity. They've certainly come good in this last term.
Yeah, they've
get a couple of goals on the board.
They've definitely enjoyed the changing conditions, and they've been, first to the footy there. Jeffrey McDonald just couldn't quite convert. He's had a very quiet day, and really hasn't been able to turn on that enigmatic form that he can sometimes bring and change the game with a few kicks.
A couple of young Redtails combining there. Jamal Lynch to Alonzo Nelson. Nelson went to kick to Abbott. He couldn't take it. Ethan Little comes in to assist. Long handball backwards to Nelson. Nelson short pass back to Lynch. So a couple of the young fellas from the bush there, both, Alonzo Nelson only 16 years old, and I think Jamal Lynch about 18 or 19. One from Tea Tree, one from Ginger Porter, intercepting. That's Lachlan King for Big Rivers. Kicks it back looking for Patrick again. This time the ball through his hands. He's quick to get back in the action. So too big Ryan Smith. And he'll hold the player out and ask for a free kick here. And the umpire's going to call for a ball up right next to the behind post.
Really been fantastic, Lachlan King, in this last quarter. I think he's got stops attached to some gumboots out there. He's just come into his own in this wet weather. As the ball comes down from the stoppage, and the umpire's found a kick there, and looks like it's going to go the way of the Big Rivers team, and it could be the big ruckman, Ryan Smith, there coming up with a football.
Well, if he gets a goal, I reckon that's a fair reward for a hard-working day out.
I think it's a reward for his persuasiveness towards the umpires all day. He's been fantastic
nice
kick too. Well done. Look, it's been really a great effort in this last quarter from the BRFL. They haven't gone away. They haven't dropped in their endeavour. They've really, still cracking in and having a go. And we talked about pride at three-quarter time, Stan, and I'd say, we walk away here with a little bit of pride on the board. The Redtails haven't got away and really dominated in this quarter. So some good signs there. And as I said, it's a good learning opportunity, this game, and we'll go away and we'll look at next year and we'll say, how can we get better?
Yeah, it would have been easy to look at that scoreboard at three-quarter time and just chuck it in completely, particularly as it's a rep game. There's no percentage involved or anything like that. So it is pride, and this bloke's been great.
Curtly Silver pumps the
Silver's
ball.
been gold.
Yeah, I like it. He's pumped the ball long here. Let's come down. The Redtails half-back line's been very good today, and comes out there, and it's young Thomas Swan now with a footy.
Should enjoy the conditions.
Yes.
A Swan.
And it comes out now. The mark's taken there by Kernoth, who's had a very, very good day as well. And it's great to hear that he's living in Catherine. I need to get his phone number.
I've got it.
That's brilliant. Okay, his ball comes down. Tom Spence there from the Camels can't get his hands on the football. And I tell you what, there's some big, hard collisions going on there now. And it's great to see bodies still cracking in even at this point of the match, as we have a boundary throw in here, just to the right of our commentary box on the forward flank, on the grandstand side of the ground. Ball comes in now as the rain's eased, and it's the plumber, Dan Allen, with the kick. Kicks it into the middle of the ground. It's all Redtails. It's a fight for the football. That's a great little piece of work there by the young Redtails footballer. Silver again gets in there, gets the football, and it's Driver with the hand pass over the top, but there's no one there. Here he is again, Lachlan King, soccering the ball forward. Liam Patrick now with the hands, looking for Farrell, who can't be clean with it. And it's Allen smashing it forward as the Redtails pick up the football. King again, just tackled that time. Kale Cossack now gets her hands out. Driver, quick kick in forward, can't find anyone. The mark's not taken. Umpire's going to ball the football up here.
Yeah, Tommy Clark in over the top of it there for the Redtails. Got to the front of the marking contest, brought it to ground, and then got back on the footy quick. There goes the final siren. And in the end, the final score, 12-18-90. The Redtails defeating the Big Rivers Football League 5-10-40. So the margin in the end, 50 points, was significantly bigger than that at three-quarter time. So good final term, outscoring the Redtails 3-1 in that last quarter of the Big Rivers Football League. I'll quickly go through the goal kickers as we watch the players congratulating each other on screen. For Redtails, 3 goals each to Nigel Lockyer and Tosh Kernoth, 2 each for Dylan Barry and Daniel Stafford, and 1 apiece for Sean Foster and Matt.
There it is, a wet end to the match, and a big congratulations to the Redtails, winners of today's match this afternoon, 12-18-90, defeating the Big Rivers 5-10-40.
Farrell. Of course, Farrell, certainly a famous name down in the Catherine neck of the woods, but Farrell, well, there's a few of them getting around out Nook way.
Absolutely.
We know that. Look, in the end, a one-sided game, and the Redtails coming out on top, but I guess one thing we're both hoping for, Nick Lovering, is that this sort of stuff continues. I know we won't see another margin like that again in the future, but we'd certainly like to see more games like this in the future, and get these fellas out there, so people at a higher level, even up here in Darwin or further beyond, can have a look at them.
Yeah, look, system, structure, discipline from the Redtails. They were too good today, but look, bravery from the Big Rivers Football League today. Really proud of the way the boys fought it out. They'll get another opportunity, and let's hope that, as you said, Stan, that we get this chance to be on this stage again. A lot of these young men will never forget this opportunity, and it is just fantastic to have rep football back in the Northern Territory, and well done to all of the players out there today. It's been a great spectacle and a very enjoyable game to call.
Yeah, fantastic to be a part of it, and fantastic that it can be telecast right around the country too. So we get to thank NITV for doing that. It's fantastic to see these fellas who look where we live. We're right out in the middle of nowhere. Alice Springs probably a little bit more so than Darwin, but really disconnected from other communities, a long way apart, which does make rep footy hard. To get exposure on national television, look at those scenes there.
Yeah, fantastic.
On our screens now. That is brilliant. That's what it's all about. Got to mention Darren Talbot on the outside, this side of the group there, the runner. You can see the shirt. The shoes he's got on are quite unique.
They are. They look like some sort of wet weather item, don't they?
Yeah, there's no top of it. They're actually toes.
Okay.
So,
all right. Yeah, well, look, there'll be many families out there tomorrow, especially watching the replay of this coverage tomorrow on NITV and streaming the game live. I can just imagine, many families out at Nooka and Larger Manu and Barunga and Beswick taking this opportunity to see their young men on the big stage here in Darwin and then doing their communities proud.
That's fantastic, that picture. Going to have to get a souvenir of that one.
Yeah, no,
it's absolutely brilliant.
Great day, and well done to all involved, and especially, as I mentioned, to the Catherine coaching staff, have had to work really hard to bring this together in a very short space of time. And they'll walk away with their heads held high, proud of the effort they put in today.
And look, on behalf of Central Australians, I get to thank people like Rob and Alicia Clark. You probably just see them right at the edge of your screen walking off there, the driving force behind the Redtails. Their coaches, Sean Cusack, Damien Hall. Last 4 CFL premierships involved with those two, all at the one club. Mentioned Darren Talbot before, Ian McAdam always around the traps. Even Ebony Miller, who's been up here and played a lot of women's football in Darwin, and she's made sure she's caught up with the Central Australians. She knows where she's come from, and she's been out there assisting as well. So well done to all those people around these two groups. It's a fantastic thing, and we hope we get to see more of it.
Yeah, no, great day.
So the final margin, Redtails 12-18 90 to Barkly Rivers Football League, 5 goals, 10-40. My name's Stan Coombe on behalf of myself and Nick Lovering. Thank you very much from NITV.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big congratulations to the Redtails, 50-point winners, 12-18-90, defeating the Big Rivers 5-10-40. And it gives me a great delight to announce that this afternoon's best on-ground From the Redtails, would you put your hands together for Dylan Parry? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the formalities for this afternoon's game. Plenty more footy action coming up in around 20 minutes' time with the NTFL Women's up against the Sandford Glenelg Tigers. But as they make their way off the field, ladies and gentlemen, once again, would you please thank and congratulate the Big Rivers Football Club? If you've just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to a very wet TIO Stadium for the 2020-21 Cazaly's NTFL representative game. We'd like to take a special mention to Cazaly's Palmerston Club, who are not only the AFL-NT's premier partners, but also the naming rights partner of the newly resurrected NTFL representative game in 2021. We'd also like to take the time to thank our integral sponsors who help make today what it is. Our naming rights sponsor, Cazaly's Palmerston Club, major sponsor, TIO, and of course our NT representative squad player sponsors, LJ Hooker, De Silva Hebron, RMI Security, and Plumbing NT. And of course our broadcast partners, NITV, Kick Digital, Mix 104.9 and Hot 100. Play getting underway very shortly in the NTFL Women's versus Glenelg match. Very excited to say our pre-match entertainment on ground this evening. Would you please put your hands together for Jackson DeSantis? Well, ladies and gentlemen, they've already made their way out onto the field, but would you please welcome the NTFL Women's Representative side?
That's the Glenelg Tigers. So you're colourblind.
Well, I mean, that's obviously the Glenelg Tigers, but we'll stand by for our NTFL Women's very shortly. Too much rain, I can't see anymore. We've got a few Tigers supporters here this afternoon. It's good that it's back.
Where's my iPad go? Oh, thanks, Sam. We've got to shoot Nev's opener, which will go up on the corner, I think. Where's Jackson? Okay. Mine's coming.
Yeah, we're going to have to drop it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the umpires have now made their way out on the field. Play getting underway very shortly. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time in history, they have made their way out onto the field. It is the NTFL Women's Representative Team led by Captain Rhiannon Bush. Play getting underway at around 4:30 this afternoon.
I like it. Thank you. It has to be nice to me on week